Hello, and welcome to Thursday, live at the Loft. Matt cannot make it here tonight, but like he always says, thank God it's Thursday. We got our favorite days of the week coming up, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A lot of stuff going on in the fort. Tonight we're going to be looking into Fernando Tarango and some of his musical prowesses and what music means to him. We're going to have a tip from Alicia Pyle, some other good stuff, and right now I'm going to kick off some fresh licks from a song from my friend Fernando. Well, that was almost Fernando Tarango's song, To Get What I Want. One of my favorite songs. The song that I couldn't remember last week, it was To Get What I Want, the one that I heard at Peace Frog and immediately captured my attention. I wish I remembered it a little bit better, but it's still one of my favorite songs. I love playing it. We've got some tips with Alicia Pyle coming up, and then we're going to dive into Fern a little bit more with an interview. Stick around. We'll be back.
So for the tip I would like to share today, I'm going to talk a little bit about voicing versus voicing. Getting to get cute here. So when we talk about voicing, if you're playing classical piano or art music, we're talking about finding the most important part of the music or the chord and making sure that that is elevated just a little bit above the rest of the chord that you're playing. So when you're a pianist or a keyboardist or whatever you fancy yourself as, you're playing more than one note. We don't play a singular line like a vocalist or a flautist or somebody else that plays one note at a time. You get to play all the notes, or quite a few of them. And so if you're playing a big chord, if I'm going to play a huge chord, I'm playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes right now with another note in the bass, all sustained with the damper pedal. So I have to decide what note is the most important when I'm playing chords. My favorite piece to probably show you this on would be Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C sharp minor. But first I want to show you a little bit about voicing. So if I'm going to voice a chord, here's one from Rachmaninoff. There's the top note. I want that note to come out more. So I'm going to stiffen my pinky up a little bit and angle my wrist that way so that I get more juice flowing to the G sharp. Actually, it's a C sharp. So I want that note to come out over the rest. So angle the pinky, give yourself a little more juice. Now you want to relieve that tension. Don't keep it for too long. But you could hear the notes in there. Ya, da, da. Whereas if I would have not voiced at all and just played the chords as is, still sounds nice, but you can't really hear da, 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 like if I give it a little bit of extra TLC up there, tender love and care. So that's the art music definition of voicing a chord. Find the most important note, give it a little more juice. If you need to, apply a little tension in your pinky or wherever you're voicing. It's usually the top notes if we're playing piano. Let's go to jazz. Voicing versus voicing. There's a lot of ways you could explain this one, and I have colleagues and mentors that could probably do this better, and probably will, because Matt will have them come in. But you can take a jazz chord and express it in different ways. Or just a chord. I'm not going to call it a jazz chord. A jazz chord just basically means we're going to add some more notes to it. If I play a regular C chord, I have a root, a third, and a fifth. A bottom, a middle, and a top. Sometimes, just to make it a jazz chord, we add a fourth note. The seventh, or another one, a ninth. So the more notes we add, sounds a little more jazzy. But they aren't jazz chords, they're just chords. So a chord is a collection of notes that we play together. What's fun about choosing how to voice a chord is choosing what notes you want to use, and sometimes we throw some out, and sometimes we add a different one in. That's called a substitution or an extension. So I'm going to show you 3 ways to make your C7 chord just a little bit cooler. I learned all these from Eric Clancy, so if you don't like him, you can blame him. A C7 chord, if you played it like it's vanilla self, here's your vanilla ice cream version of a C7 chord. You have a root, a third, a fifth, and a seventh. 4 notes. Wonderful chord. Sometimes we call this a dominant chord, which means it's built on scale step 5. I know, some of you think that's probably not very interesting, but for you jazz nerds or your classical nerds out there, that's what this is. The first way we're going to voice this, you're going to do a root and a fifth in the bass. That's a C and a G. And then a third and a seventh in the right hand. That's one way you could play it. You could also add the ninth on top. Sounds kind of cool. So that's a fun way to do a C7 chord. Another way you could play a C7 chord is, I'm going to give you the 6-9 substitution. So this one would actually be called a C6-9 substitution. You've got the root and the 7th in the left hand. That's a C and a B flat. And the right hand has the 3rd, which is an E, the 6th, which is an A, and the 9th, which is a D. I love this substitution. Cool little fun fact, this also works over a C major 7. Listen. So you can also do that, or the regular C7. Super cool. The third way I'm going to show you to voice your C7 chord. This one's hard. So if you thought the other ones were hard, you might want to go take a snack break now, because this one's really hard. You're going to play the root and the 7th in your left hand. That's a C and a B flat. And then you're going to play the 3rd, which is an E, the sharp 5, which is a G sharp, 7th, which is a B flat, sharp 9, which is a D sharp. This is a C7, sharp 5, sharp 9 substitution. Very crunchy. Has a little bite to it. It's like horseradish sauce or something. It's kind of fun. It's a good way to spice up a dominant chord if you wanted. So you got your basic one I showed you. That was this. Or you have the 6-9 substitution. That one's cool. Or you have the horseradish, sharp 5, sharp 9 substitution. Those are just 3 ways you could voice a C7 chord if you wanted to. There's hundreds of other voicings you could also pick. I like those as my go-tos. I kind of like to think of it as simple, moderately complex, and then, complex and crunchy. Because sometimes you're playing a tune where you want to play a real simple voicing because you don't need the extra stuff. Sometimes you want it to sound a little more hip, and sometimes you just want to school everybody. So you got to decide what genre you're in, what group of musicians you're playing with, and what the vibe is, and then you can pick substitutions. Like I said, there's other people that can give you some way cooler options. Those are just 3 go-tos that I enjoy when I'm playing music. I don't use them in very poppy music, but I use them in anything R&B based, a lot of jazz, and even some rock tunes as well. So you'd be surprised how much a substitution can sophisticate even a simple 4 to 6 chord song. I encourage you to look this up and try some other ones too. You might get bit by the bug and end up playing, Miles Davis before you notice. Hope this is helpful.
Hi, I'm Fernando. My musical career, I guess it started when I was 10. I went to a professional boy choir school called the American Boy Choir School, and we were based out of New Jersey, in Princeton, New Jersey, but we gigged out in New York City a lot. We traveled the United States, traveled to about 10 countries before I graduated in 8th grade, and a professional boy choir. So, we do recordings, concerts. We take our schoolwork on the road and, lived out on the road for about 3 weeks at a time for our tours. And then from there, I went back to school, went back to college for music. Then I went to work out in California, working for a boy choir out there, Pacific Boy Choir Academy, and singing a lot of choral music, and then some professional solo work as well, mostly classical stuff. And fast forward to coming to Fort Wayne, I ended up doing some cruise ship gigs, more contemporary music, guitar songs and bar songs, and a lot of songwriter work and band work here in Fort Wayne, and most recently did a music theater gig out in New Zealand, New Plymouth Operatic Society, doing Les Miserables. It's Jean Valjean, just pretty big, intense role and pretty awesome. You can take, you can give. I don't know if there was a time where I realized that music was it. It was more of a slow growth, or it's been more of a slow growth. I think I've always done music because I got a lot of positive response from it. And so I continue to do that. And but it wasn't till I think I started songwriting that I really started to sort of need music. And as I've grown up, I realized I really do love music, and love music in the whole sense where, you know, you love it when you don't feel like it loves you back, kind of thing. And it's really a part of me. It's really a need, and something that I try to tend to as often as I can. I used to drive this awesome blue Chevette in college, and I always wanted to write a song about that car and involve that car. So, gosh, it's sort of a love song about a car in the end. That's so bad. Oh, I do miss that car. Oh, all right. I'm gonna cry. I used to drive so careful on the open road. Check my mirrors and blind spots as I go. You sitting safely in the passenger seat. I wanted that trip to last as long could be. And every stop I'd fill the tank, check the oil, gauge the tires, top the coolant, ask the map where we're going. And where were we going? But I don't drive so careful anymore. I don't check my rear view mirror like before. I'm so afraid I'll look to find the life I've left behind. Driving down the line. Reaching out to touch you was so easy in that 82 Chevette, powder blue, you bet. Love the feeling of your fingertips resting on my arm as I shifted through them happy years. And I never ground them gears. We'd sing along to the radio, blaring over the engine's roar, the white wall tires on the blacktop road. Windows down, 'cause the air conditioner was always broke. But I don't drive so careful anymore. I don't check my rear view mirror like before. So afraid I'll look to find the life I've left behind. Driving down the line. I don't quite remember, I don't quite know when the road got rough and traffic slowed. Yellow signs and orange cones, and you looking out your side window. You turned to me and said, baby, I love you so. Your fingers pulled the latch on that door, and I silently watched you go with my both hands on the wheel. But I don't drive so careful anymore. I don't check my rear view mirror like before. So afraid I'll look to find the life I've left behind. Drive driving down the line, driving down the line. I no longer approach songwriting. I let it come to me. I've chased it a lot, and I'm at the point where I don't need to write the next song. I don't need to write the next hit. I just need to be me and connect with the guitar and my thoughts and try to understand what I'm feeling. And once I can understand what I'm feeling, then I can be truthful and sincere. And then whatever comes from that is going to be a successful song for me. I lived in an RV for a little while, and driving from California over to the Midwest, and I didn't take as long as I should have in the trip. I find I've been very rushed throughout my life, and left myself in a state of wanting. Ended up writing this in the belly of a cruise ship. I could hear the ocean waves hitting against I don't even know what it's called, the bottom of the boat. It's called Passing Through. Wanna be a shooting star, traveling across the sky, burning fast and free in the night. If you've a chance to see, you can make a wish on me, and I'll make it true as your heart. Wanna be a rusty car, driving through this broken land, down dusty roads without no names you understand. Running out of gas in towns with no faces reminds me of the places I've never been. Follow, follow, follow me to heaven. I'm not knocking on that door alone. Follow, follow, follow me to heaven. My salvation rests upon your soul. Don't know what I'm looking for, but happiness will find my way. When it do, I'll pave the road and you can visit any day. Follow, follow, follow me to heaven. I'm not knocking on that door alone. Follow, follow, follow me to heaven. My salvation rests upon your soul. And if they let me in alone, I don't wanna go. Oh no. Give to me the life I love. Let the lathe go by me with the jolly stars above and the night-way night. Wish that I could tell you exactly what was right or wrong. Haven't been around this world that long. But mama didn't raise no fool, taught me about the golden rule. And oh, you know I forgive you. Lord knows I've done some crazy things too. It's true. Follow, follow, follow me to heaven. Not knocking on that door alone. Follow, Follow, follow me to heaven. My salvation rests upon your soul. And if they let me in alone, I don't wanna go. I wanna be water, 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 flowing by the stones in the river. I wanna be water, 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 flowing by the stones in the river. My earliest memory of music was in my mom's arms, and we're I remember being in my mom's arms, and we're listening to birds out in a tree that was over. We had these irrigation ditches. We lived in these, a lot of cotton fields and in an adobe house, and we're just outside the kitchen door, and she just hold me on this side, I remember, and we were listening to the birds, and we were just imitating them. So she would sing what the bird was singing, and I would try to sing what the bird was singing, and so that's my earliest recollection of music. All right. This one's called Blue, Blue Valley. I don't even know what the title is. I don't know. But I turned it into a lullaby to sing to my sons. If you ride the long train up and down the mountain, you will find a valley far away, glistening in the sunshine. I'll be yours and you'll be mine. We can spend the rest of time dreaming away in the blue, blue valley. Rest comes easy. Lay your head down, you've done well, my son. In the blue, blue valley, rest comes easy. Close your eyes, your work is done. In the blue, blue valley, rest comes easy. Lay your head down, you've done well, my son. In the blue, blue valley, rest comes easy. Close your eyes, your work is done. My measure of success with music is connection. If I can connect with music, that's the gig. If I can be happy making music and enjoy it, then boom, I'll feel good, and that's the purpose.
All about connection. Fernando, and I tell you, connecting with Fern changed a lot of things in my life too. I met a lot of people when working on the East of Nowhere project, which is how I met Fern. And he is just such a great artist that anytime I play with someone and that I am just in awe by, and they have any type of the same feelings of, you know, that I inspire them, it's hard for me to, that's the biggest thing that, like, keeps me pushing on, like, the reaffirmations I get from other people, other artists that I really enjoy playing with. And Fern just, we jammed and he's a multi-instrumentalist, and regardless of how we were set up, it always just had a good vibe. And when Fern moved in with me, like I alluded to it a little bit in the last episode, that F10.
Don't worry about that. Yeah, I couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's all good. If you ever need to mute your Mac, F10 is a quick mute to it. But
I see.
Yeah, but within that project, within meeting Fern, he made me believe in myself a lot more, because for me, someone who had that great of a voice, with that much musical background, with that much teaching, and just music theory knowledge and everything else, for him to have any interest in playing with me made me feel like I must be on the right track. There must be something that I can believe in myself with, if someone else can see it in me. And I'll be forever grateful to Fern for building me up. And the things that he taught me is, I took some vocal lessons from him too, and learned more in those lessons than any other time. I haven't done a lot of music teaching in general, but what he showed me changed how I sing moving on. And I've forgotten a lot of the stuff that he told me, but
that's surprising.
Who would think? Yeah. So that's Fern in a nutshell. Fern is, again, he lives in New Zealand, and we do have some Fern music out there. Blue Chevette has been released, the one with Trent playing harmonica that we recorded in my basement, I think 10 years ago now, but it's only been released through streaming services like within the last, I think in May or June was when we released it last year. So it's out there, Blue Chevette and he's got a lot of other music too available on any streaming service you want to find.
And I think, if I remember it, I think all the songs from that are on our Spotify, are on the Phoenix Records Spotify. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure. So if you go to thephoenixrecords.com, you can check out Fern's. We actually have a link to his stuff there.
Yeah.
You can follow that. Check out his music. He's pretty incredible. Yeah. And you played a Fern song to start the show.
Yes.
As well as what was the other song you played?
That was a Matt McCoy original. Actually, Rear View, one of my favorite songs by Matt. Not only does he host the show, but he is a very gifted songwriter, and like I'm like what I was saying about Fern, like meeting Matt and having him believe in me in any capacity as, you know, either a co-songwriter or producer or anything, or even studio co-owner, to get to play all, because he has probably 20 unreleased songs, and he's a very prolific writer, and Rear View is one of the first songs he showed me. I think that Fly Tonight is actually the name of it, which I don't think we've ever played it on any of the podcasts or whatever, but that was the first song that I think that I ever worked on Matt with, and we recorded that at my house. And actually, this 4x6 window, which is in the studio, used to be in my house when we recorded it. Matt came over and then eventually took this window and this board and transplanted them here afterwards. But yeah, Rear View, I think might have been like the 4th or 5th song that Matt ever showed me. But still, it has a very special place in my heart. Like, Matt, we're wondering about where Matt is.
Matt is this is no exaggeration. And I'm a pretty busy person. I do a lot of things. Matt is the busiest person I've ever met. Mm-hmm. And he has been relentless in
making this show a priority, making the record label a priority. But unfortunately, he got stuck out of town unexpectedly. Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume it had something to do with airlines, or, they're all pretty nuts right now. But he will be back next week for sure, thank God, because I don't know how long we can pull this off. I think we got another few minutes in us. But
yeah. I think it might have had something to do with Transformers.
I think so.
And I mean like Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's, of course.
I heard that there was some type of a big disturbance with like a shifting semi-truck.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, it might not have been... I'm sorry, Optimus. I shouldn't say it was Optimus Prime, but that's Transformer casting.
Yes, it is.
Yes. But yeah, so Matt is out of town.
But yeah, he will be back next week, and next week we'll also have Alicia Pyle on the show, and she did our tip today, so she's the guest next week, which should be pretty exciting.
Yes. Yeah, she brought a whole other level to the teaching tip this week.
Yes, she did. That was that. I don't know what any of the stuff that she said was. Before that, I didn't know it at all. Now I do feel like I understand how to voice a chord. I couldn't play any of those chords, but I understand that if I wanted to voice it, right here, stiffen this pinky up, give it a little extra oomph. That's
it's
all
amazing
it takes.
what the pinky can do.
It is. I'm not gonna walk into that.
Well.
But yeah, so I think though that we'll have an interview with her and probably get her in here for some fresh licks, so it should be good.
Yep, Alicia will be back next week for interview and more. And I think that you might know what we're taking the show out with. You might be familiar with the artist.
I am a little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm. So tonight we're actually debuting the brand new video from a Phoenix Records artist, Jessie May, who happens to be my wife. Not how she got on the label. I actually didn't even want to bring it up at first because I was like, I don't know if they're going to be like, yeah, sure, dude, we'll just sign to everyone's wives. Why not?
Is the name of the album Nepotism?
It is not. It's a working title. We had thought of that one for a while.
Yeah.
But no, I played Matt, actually this song before we recorded it here, and he was like, oh, yeah, definitely. Get her in the studio. So the song is out on Spotify now. It's called Wild Baby. It's about... it's kind of like about all of our kids, especially our girls, and we like to let them be who they are all the time, and so
Charlie kind of comes to mind for me when I hear this song. I mean, it doesn't hurt that she's in the picture for the title of the song.
She probably came to mind before she was in the picture for the title of the song, though. Yeah. She's an individual for sure. But so we'll have Jess on coming up sometime, I'm sure in the next month or two. She's playing out a lot right now. So
yeah, I think she's on a songwriting tear.
She is. She has written somewhere in the neighborhood of 23 or 24 songs since November, and actually most of them since January. I think she only wrote 2.
I've heard a lot of them. She's been practicing downstairs, and honestly, I'm like blown away.
Yeah, like, I know. Every time she plays me a new one, I'm just like, they just keep getting better. So it's exciting. You'll also be able to pick up her stuff. The single's out now, so you can listen to it on Spotify and all the streaming. You can buy it on iTunes and Amazon. And unfortunately, I have not got the link for that on the website yet, but I promise I will by tomorrow. So if you want to check that out. And yeah, I think we'll see a lot of good things coming.
Right on. Well, I think without further ado, then, we will send it off with Jessie and...
Actually, thank you.
That's right. We do have a giveaway. We're going to be giving away Shadowworks from Crystal C Note, our guest from last week. Whoever comments, does anything, likes, if you do anything that we can see online, this is yours. We'll send it to you. First person. Send a carrier pigeon, perhaps. Send a gerbil named Stan. If you have a gerbil named Stan, not only will you get the CD, but you will get $50. But you have to prove that you had a gerbil named Stan beforehand, which is going to be hard. You need a birth certificate, Stan on the birth certificate. You have to also prove that it's a gerbil, because if your husband is named Stan, you don't. Anyways, if you want Crystal's CD, Shadowworks, it is very good. We played a little bit of it with Crystal last week. I've listened to the entirety of the CD since, and the production is awesome. The songwriting is great. It's better than I expected. And I've seen her live, and I knew that she was a great performer. I think it's easier to be a great performer than it is a great songwriter. And so whether I'm just a cynical asshole or whatever, I'm always a little bit skeptical when people release music. And I was very pleasantly surprised. And after interviewing her and getting to know her, and like the meanings behind the songs and how much of it is kind of telling her story and her experiences with people going through things and things that we've all gone through, it helped me enjoy the music a little bit more than had I not had the chance to talk to her and to jam with her a little bit.
Yeah, for
sure.
So
anyways, if you're out there, if you're watching, if you want the CD, send us the carrier pigeon. Send us Stan, your gerbil.
Actually, just be the first person to comment.
Okay, just be the first person to comment.
First person to comment gets the CD.
You get the CD. And is there anything else that I'm forgetting,
I think that's
Nicole?
it.
No.
My better half over there. All right, well, Dave.
All right, well, let's let Jesse take us out with Wild Baby.
Wild baby, don't change her. She's amazing, she's gonna sing. Feet dirty, she's sturdy. I'm telling you, she's strong as the sea. Can't make her do what you say now. If she don't wanna, that ain't a thing. Let her crash into who she was meant to be. Let her lead the way. Let her chase down mystery. If the world that makes her tries to break her, they're gonna see that we let her scream. We let her be fiery, just like the sun. We let her fight. Question why this wild baby, she needs to run. She needs to run. Let her crash into who she was meant to be. Let her lead the way. Let her chase down mystery. The way it should be. Let her be free. This wild baby, she needs to run. She needs to run. Just let her run.